What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. You know, I hear a lot. I hear a lot from African Americans. I'm not African. I don't know anything about Africa. I don't. Nothing I do is African. I'm not African. I'm American. I'm not African because my culture, African American culture, is just American culture. I'm an American. I'm not African. Listen, we have not been gone from Africa that long. All right. We have not been gone. If you are an African American, you are the latest African import to the Western Hemisphere. Okay? Those South Americans, they're the ones who've been in slavery for 500 years. Those Caribbeans, they're the ones who've been in slavery for 400 something years. African Americans, barely 200 years. Barely. Listen, your grandmama, about 70, 80 years old, if you my age. Your grandmama, about 70, 80 years old. Her grandmama was a slave, right? Her grandmama came from Africa. Ain't that many generations ago we was in Africa. That's why all of our culture, for the most part, is just Nigerian culture, because that's where we came from. Listen, I had my Caribbean, my best friend Caribbean. He told me, he said this some years ago, and when I told him, I said, man, being in the Caribbean is like being in Africa. Y'all more African than us. He said, no, you're not. He said, you African Americans are more African connected than we are as Caribbeans. And that ain't make no sense to me. But once I come to Nigeria, it makes sense to me. African Americans are more, I'm not going to say nobody's more African than anybody, but our culture itself, the African American culture, from all the foods that we eat, all the dances that we do, all of it, everything about us is Nigerian. I'm trying to tell you, because they have the ship manifests. If you go to the National Archives, you can see the ship manifests. Most of us Africans came over here during the late 17th century, 1790. It's all there to be seen. You can Google it. You can ask ChatGPT to give it to you and give you the links. It takes zero effort to find out this information. Because for the life of me, I be getting these people in comments say they want to call themselves, they don't know the difference between nationality, ethnicity, and race. Listen, if you are that's your race. So all you African Americans try to say, I'm not African, I'm American. You idiot. You can be both. American is a nationality. You can change your nationality anytime you want. All your nationality is the little badge you get, a little number that says you live in this place. This geological location. That's it. Anybody can change their nationality. You're not born any nationality. You are born a race. You are African that lives in America. I can go to Japan, right? Become a Japanese national, and I'll be Japanese. I can go to England right now and do all the paperwork and become English, right? That would be, now English is a little different because, there's kind of like a race. They're white, they're European, but that's still in that. If I become a British citizen, that would be my nationality. But that don't change the fact that my race is African. You are African, all right? And for you guys who, I know y'all didn't finish school, okay? The countries that currently exist now did not exist when we left Africa. Do you understand? But the states that you see in all of these countries, i.e. Nigeria, Ghana, all the West African countries, represent the kingdoms and the countries that existed before Europeans created a federation and turned all these big block freaking empires into one massive country. Okay, these people know who they are. All right, the states are here, the kingdoms is here, all that stuff is here. But you African Americans are Africans. No matter how much you want to say you're not African, you're American. You can be an American. You're still a goddamn African. You can pretend to be a pretendian. You're still a goddamn African. You can call yourself a Hebrew Israelite. Guess what? You're still a goddamn African. You can call yourself anything you want. It don't change what you are. And your feelings don't mean nothing. And you can't pick your race. You are what you are. You are an African. You're either a lost African, an ignorant African, a self-hating African, a proud African, an aloof African, an indifferent African. You're still an African. You're an African trader, or you're a Pan-African. Either way, you're a goddamn African. There's nothing you can do about it. All right? The only thing you can do about it is your self-esteem that you got about it. Deal with it. You're an African. And we just freaking got here. Everything about African-American culture is straight Nigerian culture. To them goddamn black eyed peas your ass eat. That's straight Nigerian culture right there. And don't goddamn tell me, I don't look African. You don't know what the... First of all, you come to Nigeria, you will see every single phenotype in Nigeria. You can look at my videos and you can see it because I've proved it time and time again with primary evidence. There is no Nigerians per se that has there's no typical Nigerian look. You only see a small sample size of Nigerians that's able to come to America that you recognize, but that does not represent the thousands of different types of Nigerians that exist. You got some Nigerians that look like they come from the Nile Valley. You got some Nigerians that look like they come from South Africa. You got Nigerians that look like me. Those are the Igbos. One of the biggest goddamn most prominent tribes look like me. You look at all of the damn Nollywood stars, right? Them damn Nollywood stars. A lot of them, the biggest, most famous stars, some of them look like me. I got a twin Nollywood actor right now. All right, everybody keeps saying I look like here. So I'm telling you, I've showed you in videos where you see people that look like that can be my cousins. You see people that look like they can be your family members, including me, right? Even though y'all try to Asian, Asian come from us. They're African. They look like it. Asians have African eyes. Keep that in mind. Everybody has African eyes. Even if you got a slender nose, you got African nose. All that shit's African. But anyway, without further ado, let's let this black man explain this shit to you guys because the ignorance has to stop. We got to make this ignorance shit go away. Make being smart great again. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach them. I'm out.
Black Americans are not that far removed from Africa. Okay, we are not that far removed from Africa. It's the reason why I'm very cautious not using the phrase 400 years because that's often used to justify how we're not African, that we're far removed from Africa, and that Africa is a distant memory. I need people to understand that the transatlantic slave trade in British North America and then the United States lasted for nearly 200 years, from 1619 all the way until 1808, where it was illegal to import enslaved Africans directly from Africa, but you still had 52 years of enslaved Africans being illegally imported from Africa into the United States, and that doesn't even include the enslaved Africans that went to other colonies in the Caribbean, in Latin America, and then were transmitted to the United States. We've all seen this map in our history books, our college books about the transatlantic slave trade. We've rarely seen this chart in our classrooms and in our courses. And this comes from Slave Voyages, an actual slave database that tracks the transatlantic slave trade, not just in the United States, but everybody who participated in it. The number of enslaved Africans imported into the United States peaked in the 1790s to the 1810s, and then you had a couple thousand that came in when it was illegal in the 1820s and the 1830s. We're talking about barely 200 years ago. My great-grandparents were probably born around the 1890s to the early 1900s based on what I've tried looking up. I am to my great-grandparents as my great-grandparents are to the importation of enslaved Africans. We are not that far removed from Africa. Why do you think we still have hoodoo or the Gullah language, the food that we eat? It's because we're not that far removed from Africa. We are just as African, and our Africanness, our Africanity manifests itself in a different manner, a more Americanized manner to adapt to the environment that we live in. But at the end of the day, we still African.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.